It's time for the Wednesday Word of the Week, and this week we are looking at the word time. More accurately, we're looking at 3 times, because there are 3 different words that get translated time, and they get translated that way pretty interchangeably. It's surprising at how frequently the words time, hour, or season are translated interchangeably. So we're going to look at them one at a time, and we'll look at a couple of verses that sort of paint the picture of what we're looking at. So let's start out with the first one, chronos. Let's look at all 3 first, pardon me. Chronos is the first one, means time. Kairos usually means more of like a season or a period of time. And then there's hora, which sounds like the Spanish word for time, right? And it literally is hour. It's a portion of the day. So let's take a look at each one at a time. We'll start with chronos. So we get our English word chronology or chronometer from chronos, and it's a point or period of measurable time. So like the actual flow of time that we keep track of with sunups and sundowns, etc. So let's look at an example, 2 examples, one from Matthew 2, verse 7, where it says, "Then Herod summoned the wise men secretly and ascertained from them what time the star had appeared." So when King Herod is trying to find out when the Messiah was born, he looks to get a precise fix on the time and date when the star was seen that led the wise men, etc., to the newborn Christ. Romans 5:5, it says, "For while we were still weak, at the right time, Christ died for the ungodly." So at the right period, at the right point in history, Christ came and died for the ungodly. Let's move on to the next word, kairos. And kairos is a period of time that's usually defined by certain qualities or characteristics, or it's an event, a season of things that are going on. For an example, we'll look at Mark 1:29 and 30, where Jesus said, "Truly I say to you, there is no one who has left house or brothers or sisters or mother or father or children or lands for my sake and for the gospel, who will not receive 100-fold now in this time, houses, brothers and sisters and mothers and children and lands with persecutions, and in the age to come, eternal life." So the time in question there is obviously not a particular week or a month, but in this time between the coming of Christ in the incarnation and eternity, those who accept Christ, become Christ followers, will experience these things that he's described. And that brings us to the last of the 3, hora, which is literally hour. It's a portion of the day, but what we need to see here is that it's very frequently used as a metaphor to describe an event or like a moment in time, but not like 12:15 p.m. moment in time, a moment when something takes place or is anticipated to take place, rather than a particular hour on the clock. Matthew 18:1 says, "At that time, the disciples came to Jesus saying, 'Who is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven?'" Well, Matthew probably didn't mean at 12:15 p.m. He meant in the flow of the story, in regard to Jesus' teaching about who's great in the kingdom. They got to talking to one another, and it prompted them to come and ask them, "Hey, who is the greatest in the kingdom?" Then we go to John 16:2. It says, "They will put you out of the synagogues. Indeed, the hour is coming when whoever kills you will think he is offering service to God." That's pretty profound. So does Jesus mean 3:30 on Tuesday? Probably not, right? He means there's a period coming. There's going to be a turn in the way people treat you. And this is what it's going to look like. This is significant here. It's translated in the ESV, "Indeed, the hour is coming," but the article, is not present in the Greek text. It literally is "an hour is coming," which definitely tells us it's metaphor. He's not talking about any specific hour. He's talking metaphorically about a moment in time is coming, or a period of time is coming. A change in the times is coming when this will be the case. So all three are translated interchangeably. In the Matthew 18 text, hour is translated time in the ESV, but it's the word hora, right? So all three get translated interchangeably. It's usually pretty clear from the context of the passage what's being discussed and described. But when you see either the words time, hour, or season, I would suggest that you dig in, do a little research, and find out exactly what time it is. So thanks again, as always, for tuning in to the Wednesday Word of the Week here in Koine Corner. I look forward to seeing you next time, and Kars Kai Reine Humin. Grace and peace to you.